Iglesia ni Cristo.
Hallo und guten Morgen, guten Tag und guten Abend an alle unsere Zuschauer und Zuhörer hier auf INCRadio Zentraleuropa Satellitenstudio. Ich bin Schwester Alessandra Martinez und freue mich heute, euer Host zu sein. Hello and good morning to our dear viewers. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all our dear viewers and listeners here on INCRadio Central Europe Satellite Studio. I am Sister Alessandra Martinez and I am your host for today. Quick time check, it is now 8:03 p.m. here in Germany. And for tonight's broadcast, we invited two brethren, two sisters from different local congregations to talk about a very comforting topic tonight. And I want to introduce them to you. So let's start with Sister Mylene. Good evening po.
Hello, good evening, guten Abend. Hello to all viewers and brethren in the whole world. I am Sister Mylene Angenfort from the locale of Dortmund, GOK-GWS. I am holding an office as a deaconess and in the finance in the GOK-GWS.
Thank you so much for being with us tonight, Sister Mylene. And of course, we have one more sister, Sister Nanette. Hello po.
Hallo po, guten Abend an alle. I'm Sister Nanette Catalan from the local congregation of Wiesbaden. I'm a choir member, a CWS teacher, and a multimedia officer.
Thank you so much to the both of you for taking your time to join us here on our INCRadio tonight. Now, to jumpstart tonight's broadcast, let's play an icebreaker game called Zoom In Picture. Zoom In game. In this game, you will have to guess what the picture is, and it's a picture that is very, very zoomed in. And you just have to guess what it is. Of course, to our dear viewers and listeners, feel free to join us as well in this fun game. Just type your answers in the live chat. Okay, Kuyatek, can you please show us the first picture? Oh, okay. That looks interesting. I think Sister Nanette, you seem to have an idea what it could be, what?
Maybe pumpkin soup?
Oh, that's a good guess. Sister Mylene, what is your idea or
Yeah, squash soup or pumpkin soup.
Squash soup or pumpkin soup? Okay, Tech, can you please tell us what it is? Correct. Good job to the both of you. It's pumpkin soup. The next one, Tech. Oh, okay. Oh, Sister Mylene has an idea. Go
I
ahead.
think that is beef stew or beef stew or goulash.
Ooh, okay. Sister Nanette is nodding her head. Do you also think that? Okay, well,
Yes,
Tech, can you please give us the answer? Yes, that's correct. It's beef stew. Good job, po. You're very good at this game. Tech, next slide, po, please. Oh, okay. Do you have any ideas, po?
Is that adobo or pochero?
Okay, could be, po. Sister Nanette, what's your idea?
My first guess would also be adobo po.
Adobo, okay. I see in our live chat, Sister Grace Engelhartman commented it could be goulash. Okay, those are very Let's see. I don't really know what the answer is as well. Kuya Tech, can you please show us what? Ah, yun. It's adobo. Good job po. Okay, I hope all of you enjoyed our fun game. Thank you to everyone participating po, as well to our listeners. And let's just jump right into our topic conversation po. Now, as the temperature drops and the cold takes over in this part of the world, there's nothing quite like a hearty meal to wrap you in warmth and nostalgia. And that's why tonight we will dive into the warm, delicious world of comfort food. And that which is perfect for those chilly days when all you want to do is bundle up and savor something very satisfying. And we will explore the ultimate comfort dishes that wrap you in a blanket of flavor, warmth, and nostalgia. May it be from hearty soups, stews, to creamy pastas and baked goods, we'll share recipes, personal stories, and tips to bring that warmth into your kitchen tonight. Hey, my first question to Sister Mylene would be, what is your personal definition of a comfort dish? How would you define comfort dish po?
Comfort dish. So it's food that when you eat, your tummy will be happy, meaning have good you have no indigestion. So there is a smile, not only when you enjoy the taste, but at the same time, after eating it and after an hour or so of eating it, you still feel comfortable.
Yes, that's a very good definition, actually. How about you, Sister Nanette? How would you define comfort dish?
Yes, I would agree with Sister Mylene. It definitely put a smile on your face, and it also is connected to a certain memory, maybe. So that's why whenever you have that dish or food, even though you might be a bit down or had a long day, whenever you have that, yeah, it's like your mood instantly switches. Yeah.
Yes, I totally agree with the both of you that a comfort dish not only brings a smile to your face, but as well to your tummy. What are some of your go-to comfort dishes when the weather turns cold, Sister Nanette?
So there are many to pick on, but one thing that I really enjoy eating, especially if it's still fresh, if it's freshly made and it's still warm, is a Korean dish called bibimbap. So it's I believe it's translated mixed rice, which is easy to make actually to at home. So you chop different kind of vegetables and add either beef or tofu with it, and also an egg, and you mix it with a Korean sauce, which is called gochujang. It's like a pepper fermented pepper sauce, and it's a bit spicy as well. So all the more it really warms you up and suitable for a cold day. Yeah.
Oh, those sound very, very good comfort dishes. How about you, Sister Mylene? Um, are there dishes that Sister Nanette mentioned that you also like, or are there different kind of comfort foods for you that you like when the weather turns cold?
Comfort foods for cold days. Actually, there are many to mention because we just don't drink hot teas. We just don't take hot teas during cold days, especially here in Europe. We need to support our bodies with vitamins to prevent us from becoming sick. So we prepare huinasupe. So it's similar to arroz caldo, in which we put many ginger, and vegetables. We actually put additional ingredients like leeks, and there is also, of course, onion, garlic, and you can also put cabbage, cauliflower, and celery to to have it more healthier, to make it healthier. And aside from hunasupe, uh, of course, this hunasupe, the chicken itself in the hunasupe or arroz caldo is rich in protein, minerals, vitamin B, and zinc that helps our immune system. So it has also antibacterial and antiviral effects. That's why those who are sick, I remember when I was young in the Philippines, and I always had fever and sore throat, something like that. My mom, my auntie would always prepare this arroz caldo. And whenever I ate that, I really felt like I did not have fever. I would turn to perspiring, something like that. So there is in the chicken that is very good to fight this bacteria and virus within the body. And aside from the hunasupe, there is rindfleisch soupe or nilagang baka. So in the nilagang baka, we put, of course, the vitamin C rich cabbage and, of course, leeks also. Other than that, we can also put other or additional ingredients, additional vegetables to have more vitamins. So we also put cauliflower like that, and even carrots we can put in the nilagang baka. But in the Philippines, we put other than that saging na saba to have more, to make it more sweet, because we Filipinos love sweets also. There is blending of taste. So we want to have it like sweet and sour, something like that. And my ever favorite sinigang. The sinigang, whenever I prepare sinigang, there is fresh. I make sure that I use fresh tamarind. But since we don't have fresh tamarind in Europe, when I am in the Philippines, I buy that. In Asia, in Asian stores here, we can actually buy that, but it's not always available. So it's by chance. It's luck that you get it from the Asian store. But tamarind is very rich in vitamin C to help us to have no colds during winter. But since we don't have here, it's not so available in Europe, we use lemon to give the sour, this sour effect in our sinigang. So aside from this, we put a lot of vegetables in our sinigang. And for the European dishes, those that I like are we have this pea soup or herbs and soup. This pea soup, you will cook the pea soup like 1 hour or 1.5 hours, and then you will put potatoes, a lot of potatoes, and again leeks. So that tastes really good, especially during winter when it is hot, warm. Oh, that is really satisfying.
Those are very, very good and comforting dishes. I agree with you on that, Sister Mylene. Especially what you mentioned, the Filipino dishes, like arroz caldo or lugao. There are also some in the comments who actually mentioned what they like in the colder days. I have a comment from Brother Mario Calvelo. I do love sinigang. Hashtag Berlin. I think most of us like sinigang also. Another comment po from Sister Kenjin Libunao. Happy viewing po. Hashtag Berlin. Hashtag Mysen. My comfort food during cold weather includes champurrado as well as sopas. And for our non-Filipino viewers or listeners, champurrado is a sticky rice dessert with chocolate. And sopas is a noodle soup with different kinds of vegetables and chicken, which Sister Mylene mentioned earlier has a lot of health benefits if you eat chicken. And another comment from Sister Grace Engelhardt: Ich esse gern Sopas für Winterzeit. Hashtag Heidelberg. And another comment from Sister Kenjin Libunao: also included on my fave go-to food during cold season would be Korean ramen with egg and kimchi. Hashtag Berlin, hashtag Meissen. Um, when you think back, Sister Mylene, you mentioned that you use a lot of fresh produce as well. When you also make different kinds of dishes, may it be a German dish like pea soup or beef soup or chicken soup, or even very Filipino traditional dishes like arroz caldo po. Were there any specific dishes your family, your mom, or your grandma made during the cold months that you still cherish, even though in the Philippines there are no cold days like here in Germany po?
Actually, these soups that we mentioned, like sinigang, like nilagang baka or reinfly soup, or arroz caldo, even not winter, not during winter or cold days, we are craving in the Philippines. Even it is so hot or so warm, the weather is so warm there, we still love to eat those foods, these soups. And so, in fact, during rainy season, it's even we crave more for these foods. So my family, actually, my mom taught me this sinigang and arroz caldo to prepare this. When I mentioned when I was sick, so they would bring me that because they know I love soup. So up to now, I am preparing that to my husband, and my husband loves these soups. Anything that is with soup, that is soup, he likes anything. So be it even a German like ice bein with sauerkraut, or this oxtail with sauerkraut. This is a German food with kartoffel puree or mashed potato. Oh, he really likes that, these foods. And I still prepare all this up to now.
How about you, Sister Nanette? When you think back when you were younger, were there any specific dishes your family made? For Sister Marlene, it was soup dishes that your family made during the cold months that you still cherish today.
So apart from soup, I think that's a general thing. We love soup during winter time or whenever, maybe also when it's raining. I think it's also very comforting to eat soup. But apart from that, one thing that I really enjoy eating when I was younger and even now is shopao. My mom used to or is still doing making shopao, and I she used to always ask, okay, what do you want? What is your wish? Or yeah, and I would say always like shopao, and I never knew before that it's actually it takes a lot of time to make shopal. So during the pandemic, when we were not able to see each other, I called her and then I missed her shopal. So I asked for the recipe. So I tried my best to replicate it. So to make it on my own, and that's where I actually realized how much work and effort it takes to make shopal. So all the more now, whenever I get chopo from my mom, especially when it's freshly made and the steam comes out of it. And I really appreciate it, and all the more it's very comforting because there's a lot of time and also love um, that took it to make that dish. That's why, yeah, it really. I feel like a kid, a little kid, whenever I eat it.
Yes, I agree on that, especially if it's a food or a dish that our mom made. It's always very special to, I think, to all of us. But Sister Net, you mentioned that you made shopao yourself, or that you also make food yourself. But what's your secret ingredient or a twist that you make for your comfort food that makes it unique? Or how do you put your own twist on maybe traditional comfort food recipes?
So, when it comes to cooking in general, you really have to be open in experimenting with spices, different spices. So, especially in winter time, when we get a lot, get more, or we tend to get more sick. So there might be dishes that have ginger, for example. So I try my best to add more ginger than usual, so to like, yeah, so to protect ourselves as well, especially in this cold season, and especially as crime members, right? Shout out to all crime members there. We drink a lot of ginger, especially in this time. So yeah, I try my best to add more than usual, especially in winter, like ginger, lemon, so to make it also more hearty. Yeah.
That's a very nice way of adding a twist to your own recipe or maybe more traditional recipes. Thank you so much, Sister Nanette. How about you, Sister Mylene? When you cook maybe traditional German or even Filipino comfort foods, are there any twists or ingredients that you like to use or even swap out?
Uh, Actually, my priority whenever I cook is to use fresh, always fresh. When it comes to, for example, ice bind with sauerkraut, I don't use this. I don't use uh, like canned good. I make sure it is from the meat shop with yeah, the sauerkraut that I will use. And for example, this arroz caldo, I use lemongrass than usual. So there is a blending of like sour, the the arroz caldo, the taste of that combined with lemongrass cut in very tiny pieces. Oh, that tastes very good. This, for example, I also use to enhance the taste. I uh, I use celery. This it can be in stock or this whole how do you call this? This whole fruit of the celery, like that. That's how I prepare our dishes, because I know we have to cut and also to cut salt and other ingredients that may be hazardous to our health. We use herbs and spices, something like that.
Those are actually very great tips to make comfort foods also more on the healthier side. Thank you so much, Sister Mylene. Um, Especially, well, Sister Mylene, since you cook both German traditional foods uh, and Filipino traditional foods, how do you think comfort foods vary across different cultures, not only German and Asian cultures, but especially since in the Philippines there is no winter, and here during the winter days it's more like soups and very hearty meals. How do you think comfort foods vary po?
In Europe, we are actually using, I think, more meat in our soups. Unlike in the Philippines, we have plant-based soups. We have we use only kilo of chicken or beef, and then we have more vegetables to put there. But in Europe, for example, you prepare gurnicole soup. You have other than the gurnicole, you have this meat like sausages. You know, Germany is known for that. For, so the sausages they put, and although there are also a lot of vegetables in Europe. There is also this so-called vegetable soup, but still they put a lot of meat. I think that's what the Germans are known for, with yeah, preparing hearty foods like that.
Yes, well, I agree on that, especially since in the Philippines, there's more um, access to vegetables, but because it grows more, or especially during the seasons where it's the winter here in Germany, we don't really have that much growing because it's cold. That's why we use more protein rich foods like meat. And yes, how do you think, Sister Nanette, especially not only in European and Asian cultures, how do you think other foods vary across different cultures? But
Mm, I would say, um, as mentioned earlier, like Filipino foods are a lot more soupy, vegetables, but there are also comfort foods such as like using a lot of cheese. I think in Europe, that's different from the Philippines or in Asia. So that's one thing, and maybe also using a lot of herbs is also not typical. I mean, we use certain herbs here more than the Philippines, I think, like petersilia, basilicum, and everything. Yeah, I think when it comes to the spices, it uh, differs a lot. And also cinnamon, I think that's also not so common in Asia, but it's more common here as well, especially during winter time. Yeah.
have you ever tried a winter dish from another country in our district, either Netherlands or Switzerland, that maybe surprised you? I mean, I would also ask Germany, but you're in Germany already.
Yes, sister. One dish that I always wanted to try it, but I only tried it this year, actually. It's raclette. It's like a cheese dish where you mix it with, yeah, where you eat cheese, actually. And I connected with a fond memory because we filmed the INC Cinema this year, and there was a scene where we filmed the actors eating raclette. So afterwards, all the crew, we all gathered together and ate that all together. So that's kind of like also a nice memory. So whenever I eat during wintertime raclette, I always reminded of that memory, the time together with the crew and all the actors. So shout out also, since it's this year, and shout out to all the INC Cinema crew.
That is so very nice. Shout out to the INC Cinema crew this year. Sister Mylene, how about you po? Sister Nanette already mentioned the raclette that she tried it the first time this year. Have you ever tried a winter dish from another country or region that may have surprised you po?
It's actually from France. This is Französische Eintopf. It's made of turkey and with many vegetables, beans, potatoes, tomatoes, garlic, onion, and Croix de Provence. This is actually a combination of many herbs, petersilie, thymian, oregano, something like that, and with cream. So it tastes really good. My Also, I want to shout out to my late grandma, mother-in-law. She taught me this Französische Eintopf. It tastes really good. And sooner, I want to try to learn how to cook squash soup. My sister taught me that, but I haven't tried it. Perhaps one of these days I will do that. Squash soup.
Oh, that sounds very nice. Well, squash soup. I already tried making it once at work with kids, um, but we didn't use a fresh pumpkin because that would take too much time. But I squash soup is really, really good, especially nowadays, boss, since it's very cold outside. But I think you'll like it, boss, Sister Mylene. Sister Nanette, how about you, boss? Sister Mylene mentioned that she wants to learn or make squash soup in the next coming days. What's one dish you'd love to learn or how to make for the winter?
I think Sister Marlene mentioned it, so I'm quite curious. The ice pine with the I don't know what was it for that you mentioned? You mentioned it earlier twice. So that's why I was like, oh, it
With
sounds
sauerkraut po. Sauerkraut.
yes. Yeah, that's something I would like to try because it really sounds yummy. For
Yes, I
Actually,
agree.
so I'm sorry. I just to share something. When I went to the Philippines and I met my former student because I was a college teacher in the Philippines. So I met my former student, and then he asked me, "Mom, you're in Germany. You know this ice vine, that ice vine with sauerkraut?" Because I happened to go to, I don't know if he was in Europe, but he was abroad, and then he ordered that. And from then on, he dreamt of that ice pie with sauerkraut. That's why. So I said, yeah, yeah, I actually cooked that. Oh, mom, can you do that for me when you're here?
Oh, that sounds so nice, Po. Did you make it for for your student, Po?
I had no time.
Yes, I think Eisbein, it's like a ham boiled in boiled ham pot, right? Uh no, is that
It's a oxtail. It's from pork. It's not crispy pata, but it's pata of the pork, which you will cook or when you have a Schnell cooktop or a pressure cooker, you will cook it like 1 hour, and then when it is tender, you will put. There is this small balls seeds that we actually put. It's not Nelken, but I forgot the name. It's like Beren, which you yeah, and which you put there that tastes good. And then we put the fresh sauerkraut. Oh, it tastes really good. This especially for winter.
I'm getting very hungry now, but I think it's also good to for the listeners and to our viewers now that they have a dish that they can try. It's Eisbein with sauerkraut. Sister Nanette already wrote it down for her to try this season. Now, going back to our topic, Bo, comfort foods for cold days. Sister Malene, since from this conversation, uh, we I can tell that you cook a lot, not only for yourself and for your family. Um, how do you approach cooking comfort food for friends or family? Do you have a go-to dish maybe that always impresses others or is always liked by others? But
The famous goulash soup. Eh. So it's like caldereta or afritada, something like that in the Philippines. It's equivalent with tomato sauce. So you have the beef and then you have or pork, then you have the tomato sauce, carrots and potatoes, bell pepper. I put celery to have more to make it more delicious. So that I always prepare whenever there is celebration or that we need to bring food or for my friends like that. And another is one that they do not know yet because this they know. Eh. Sometimes I surprise them with this französische Eintopf, what I mentioned earlier, that with cream. Actually, it's not only cream, but there is also sour cream. So that's why there is blending. It's not the taste is not only creamy, but there is like sour creamy. That's why it is interesting. The French Eintopf.
Oh, that sounds very, very nice, Po. I hope that everyone who gets to eat your food, Po, enjoys it very well. Sister Nanette, how about you, Po? Um, since you're not only cooking for yourself or maybe for your sister, Ate Elmi, how do you approach cooking food or comfort food for your friends and family? Do you also have a go-to dish like Sister Mylene?
So nowadays, especially because we're also busy, so try my best to cook something that is arty but also quick to make. So one go-to, I think it's also not really a typical comfort food maybe for a Filipino, but in Italy it's pasta. So we used to live in Italy, so that's one thing I really enjoyed doing now as well when it comes to meal prep. um, um, Pasta bolognese or arrabbiata. That's more on the spicy side, and it's try my best to mix it up. Mix so it's not always boring, not the same sauce. Sometimes with hackfleisch, minced, or the chicken as well. So it's not always the same thing, of course. And I also like to add different herbs as well on that. Yeah.
Sister Nanette, you mentioned that especially now, it gets super dark and super busy, and it's always super hard to maybe set aside a time to really cook for a long time or prepare a dish. What are some practical tips that you can share with our viewers and listeners regarding meal prepping? Healthy comfort dishes for those busy winter days.
So my tip would be to really plan your week. So um, it's of course it's not never perfect, but I try my best to whenever before going to grocery to make sure to have a plan, because sometimes if you don't write it down or make your list of ingredients, you kind of just buy what you see. So it's so one tip is make sure to make a plan what to cook, um, what dish to make on those days, working days. So most of the time I do the planning on a Friday so that on Saturday I can do the groceries. And yeah, that's one tip so that you will not tend to buy ready-made stuff. So it's hard sometimes because you're busy, but yeah, in order to still make it healthy, plan ahead. That's my tip. Well,
Thank you so much, Sister Nanette, for those very helpful tips. And I have a few comments from our live chat. I have a comment from Sister Marilu Francisco. Oh yeah, Eisbein mit Sauerkraut. Wonderlicious. Love it. My introduction to this German food happened in winter in Bremen. So also Sister Marilu Francisco po loves Eisbein. Another comment from Sister Irene Juliet Calvelo. At Annalyn Luman, I miss your dish mussels with coconut cream and lemongrass and hot sauce. That was amazing. Ooh, hashtag Berlin. Another comment from Sister Annalyn Luman. Comfort food for cold days is soup like wonton or wonton, sinigang, lugaw, sopas, tinola, and something spicy. Hashtag Berlin, hashtag Meissen. Another comment from Brother Mario Calvedo. Spicy soup is good, point if you have sipon or if you have a runny nose. I agree on that. Another comment from Brother Henry Inocencio, any soup really, just add spicy sauce. Hashtag Heidelberg, hashtag Kaiserslautern. Another Another comment from Henry Inocencio. Spicy food is fun to eat during cold days since it makes me sweat in the snowy weather. Hashtag Heidelberg, hashtag Kaiserslautern. So spicy foods are very popular in the winter and cold days. And before we continue with our conversation, we will first take a quick station break. We will be right back here on INCRadio Central Europa.
This is INC Radio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
This Monday on Like and Share. Satisfy your cravings with the classic and savory burger vegan patty. Taste the delicious and sweet milk tea partnered with pan-fried noodles and pork chop bun. Discover and roam around in Haxa Park. And in this episode, we'll be featuring vlogs from Macau Satellite Studio. So catch all of this Monday on Like and Share, December 9, 2024 at 2 p.m. Philippine Standard Time. Only here on INCRadio.
Ready to discover your new favorite INC original music? Introducing Playlist. Tune in every Monday to Friday from 9 to 10 p.m. for a musical journey like no other. Genres like R&B, acoustic, alternative, love songs, rock, pop, hip-hop, and rap. Each day brings you a different genre of INC original music tailored to match your mood. Looking for the perfect soundtrack to your day? We've got you covered. Join our hosts as they bring you the freshest hits, timeless classics, and everything in between. Catch Playlist live on INC Radio DZM 954 kHz, on the INC Radio YouTube channel, and on the INC Production Company's Facebook page. Set your reminders, spread the word, and don't miss a bit with Playlist. And remember, it's your music, your playlist. See you there!
Hello and welcome back to INCRadio Central Europe Satellite Studio. It is currently 7:45 p.m. here in Germany. And for those who have just tuned in, our topic for tonight is comfort foods for cold days. And in the first part of our conversation, our lovely sisters shared with us their favorite comfort dish, as well as some tips and tricks how to prepare these comfort dishes. Now, I want to ask one last question to our lovely sisters. How can listeners creatively use pantry staples to make healthy comfort food? Let's start with Sister Mylene.
To prepare healthy comfort foods for cold days, I think is to make also, other than the ingredients that we all know, to add herbs and spices like what is already mentioned, the basilicum, thymian, like that, oregano, rosemary, marjoram, something like that, and other seeds to give more flavor to our dishes. And actually, you can plant your herbs and spices. For example, on your window, if you have a case there where you can plant. So every time you cook, you will just open your window, kitchen window, and then get and cut your spice, your herb. So I guess it's that.
That's very nice tip, actually. Experimenting with different kinds of herbs. That's great. Thank you so much, Sister Mylene. How about you, po, Sister Nanette? What are your tips and tricks on how our viewers and listeners can creatively use pantry staples to make the healthy comfort foods, po?
I agree with Sister Maideen when it comes to herbs. It really makes a difference when you add it into the different dishes. And apart from that, since a lot of brethren mentioned spiciness, right? Spice. Um, I would suggest also to make your own chili oil because you can easily buy it in store, but it's also really different when you make your own chili oil. So you can also control the ingredients that are inside, and so you can adjust to it. So you can also add more ginger to it, more also spices such as garlic, yeah, garlic, ginger, and other things that you can add and experiment. And I do it myself, and you can mix it with different kind, not only soup but also in different kind of dish pot. So I would really suggest to make your own sauces as well. Now, of course, it's always easy to buy in store pot, but it makes a difference. But if you make your own sauces as well.
Those are very great tips. Thank you so much, Sister Nanette and Sister Mylene. I have another tip from our from the comments from Sister Michelle Wagner. Just a tip po, I used to cook more soup or sauces and put it in the glass while it's still hot. So it seal alone and preheat it and use it when I needed it. Greetings for hashtag Wiesbaden. And another tip from Sister Irene Juliet Calvelo, I want to eat less rice. So I add quinoa. It's 50-50 now. Sometimes instead of rice, I also eat oatmeal for not to get a high blood sugar. Hashtag Berlin. So for those who want to maybe have a healthy alternative to rice, quinoa or oatmeal is a great way to go for. Thank you so much, Sister Mylene and Sister Nanette, for your personal stories and tips. But before we end, we have to find out which clusters were the most active in the YouTube live chat last week. Let's find out who are the top 3 clusters. Kuya Tech?
Third place, Frankfurt cluster. Second place, Netherlands cluster. First place, Berlin cluster.
Congratulations to all of our winners for last week's challenge. Continue sharing your comments in the YouTube live chat with the hashtag of your cluster for you to have the chance to win this week's cluster challenge. Now, looking at the time, I think it's shout out time. So, Sister Mylene, who do you want to shout out or greet po?
I would like to shout out to our local in Dortmund, together with its extensions, Gok, Bielefeld, Wuppertal, to our resident evangelical worker, Brother Jeriel de la Cruz, and happy birthday to his wife, Sister Heisi de la Cruz. It's her birthday today. And also, I would like to say hello to my family in the Philippines and abroad. And
Shout-
oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Of course, my husband, my loving husband. Hi, baby.
Shout out to all of you po and greetings to all of you po. Sister Nanette, who do you want to shout out po or greet?
Yes, Paul, of course, I won't forget to greet my local Paul in Wiesbaden, to all the brethren who are watching. Hello, Paul. Shout out to you, Paul. Also, shout out to my family in the UK and also in the Philippines, Paul, especially my brother, Paul. Hello, Paul. And yeah, and to all the brethren here in Central Europe, Paul, Hello and alle po.
Yun, shout out to all of you po. And before I give my shout outs, there are a lot of brethren who are celebrating, celebrated, or will celebrate their birthdays. So happy birthday po to Brother Alfred, Sis Hazy, Brother Kirk, and advance happy birthday to Sis Keith po and everyone celebrating their birthdays po, as well as Sister Marie Chris from the local of Rotterdam. Happy birthday po to everyone who's celebrating, will celebrate, or has celebrated po. Thank you so much to our panelists for joining tonight. Thank you so much po, Sister Mylene and Sister Nanette. Shout out to you, to the both of you, as well to our viewers and listeners. Thank you as well to our District CFO Advisor, Brother Scott Agustin, to our Assistant District Minister, Brother Jason Dulalas, and to our District Minister, Brother Joel B. Catalan. Thank you so much po. We also want to thank our INC Media Production Chief, Brother Montreville Boy, and our INC Radio Station Manager, Brother Wali Taray po. And we also want to give our shout out and thanks to our CFO coordinator and CEBSI president, Brother Angelo Eranio Manalo. And last but not least, thank you to the church administration and our beloved executive minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo. Once again, we thank you for watching INC Radio Central Europe. See you next time po.